Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Today I want to talk about differences between QuickBooks Desktop to QuickBooks Online. So QuickBooks Desktop has more features. This is the home screen. It definitely looks very different than QuickBooks. You have the vendor section, and this example is a service. So vendor section, enter bills, pay bills. You have purchase orders usually, sales tax up here, and other things if it's a product company. You have sales order, estimates, create an invoice, receive payment, and sales receipts for the customers, including refunds and credits, and then you record deposit. So all this, of course, can be done also in QuickBooks Online, but definitely looks different. Let me switch to QuickBooks Online. So first, let's discuss Chapter 16. So QuickBooks Desktop versus QuickBooks Online. Okay, so most accountants are always going to be recommending whatever their preference really. If you know QuickBooks Desktop better than QuickBooks Online, that's one way you would recommend QuickBooks Desktop first. Some accountants will recommend only QuickBooks Online based on the customer needs, because if the customer is always traveling and needs cloud-based computer, then for sure it's going to be QuickBooks Online. Okay, so it depends on the needs. So it depends on the users and how many users involved, also how big is the operation. And based on that, I would recommend the different type of software. If it's QuickBooks Pro, if it's QuickBooks Premier, QuickBooks Enterprise. Enterprise is many users, more than 30. So, and out of all the desktops, this is the most expensive one. And it depends on the client and the users. So how many people are going to use the software? You have, usually all QuickBooks are multi-users, 2 to 3 people for sure by default. Okay, so remember the QuickBooks Desktop also could be accessed remotely. Not a problem. You can have your access from your home to the office all the time. But QuickBooks Online is completely online based. I don't need to hook up to a computer first at work. I can open it from any website, any computer. Okay, so we have QuickBooks Accountant for desktop and you have QuickBooks Accountant for online. So what you have to remember is that QuickBooks files are not compatible between the two. So that's the reason when I gave QuickBooks Desktop homework, I cannot give it the same as QuickBooks Online. So I gave different product with different projects for some people who did the Mac. So the QuickBooks options, of course, the advantage of QuickBooks Online is that anytime, anywhere, you can have access from any computer. QuickBooks Desktop typically has more features and more functionality. So if you have a very complex payroll and you cannot export it, really bring it in. So it's better. So you're going to do QuickBooks. So you're really going to choose which one is better and more functionality. You would say QuickBooks Desktop. But remember, they're constantly improving QuickBooks Online. And some people find it as a disadvantage because they're familiar with where to find things and all of a sudden they changed it. So you can miss a week of work and all of a sudden you say QuickBooks looks different because they're constantly improving QuickBooks Online. Okay, so that to be aware of. And they are improving it and more functionalities coming, more payroll association coming. So a lot of things could be done in QuickBooks Online now. Okay, other softwares, there's QuickBooks Pro, QuickBooks Premier, QuickBooks Enterprise. All of them are done by Intuit, and Intuit lets you export it into Pro Series or TurboTax and all this software that's related to it. And of course, QuickBooks Online. Okay, so that's between the two options. The major one is to choose between desktop or online. And then you have different pricing, and it's based on how many customers you have, how many people you how many products you sell, sometimes what is your sale point, if you're selling for 4 million, 5 million, 6 million, depends on your sales average. So there will be different categories of price. But it could be from $15 a month or even $7 a month to one access. to much more. Okay, so remember the second bullet. QuickBooks Desktop files are not necessarily compatible with QuickBooks Online. Especially we noticed that in 2018. 2019 is, they worked on it and they made compatible. So QuickBooks Desktop 2018 and 2019 are different. 2019 can give the same assignment on QuickBooks Online and QuickBooks Desktop, and they are compatible. So you can open those files. Okay, but most of the time, the best thing is to, before you give an advice of which one to buy, you really have to talk to them. Which inventory system you have, if you want to do FIFO, LIFO, average. We know by default QuickBooks does average. So an accountant has to make decisions the best for his own client. And as an accountant, he has to really have, the CPA firm should have both QuickBooks Desktop knowledge and QuickBooks Online accountant for sure. And besides, they might even need more software because different clients have different software. Okay, so that's the basic of chapter 16. I want you just to read about the differences between them. And I'm going to show a little bit QuickBooks Online. Okay, let's see if I can switch. Okay, here's an example of, oh, it just closed down. Okay, I'll take the test drive. QuickBooks Online test drive. And you say, I'm not a robot. It's very easy to follow. Even the project that I gave for the Mac, it's done. You can use Craig's Design and just change the name of the company. It goes over here. You go to setting, and you can change the company name by accountant setting. You can go to banking, and this is the main, really the main difference between QuickBooks Online and QuickBooks and Desktop. Desktop never shows you how much money is at the bank. You could get connected to QuickBooks Online and do online services with the bank, bring bank feeds, which means bring the information coming from the bank, but you will not see bank compared to books on your own side. So we do see it here. Okay, when you see it here, like now, checking is this much and banking is this much. So in QuickBooks means your register compared to the bank. Your register down here is 800, 700. Okay, let me just connect my power source. And we see that even MasterCard has 7 transactions to review. So there are 25 transactions to review in checking, 1 transaction in savings, and 7 more. Okay, and 7 more in MasterCard. So you don't have this view at all. Okay, so again, QuickBooks. So QuickBooks showing you both versions of how much is the bank compared to the book, and you have to review these 25 transactions. You don't have it there. Okay, so remember, everything can come from the plus. You have invoice and then receive payments. So of course, everything on customer, that calls account receivable, receive payment. You can have estimates, credit memo, and sales receipt, cash sales. Then you will make deposits over here. So it's a little bit far from, one from here, but it's really faster because you don't have to do bank deposit. When you receive payment, it's right away can go to the bank deposit unless you accumulate together. So it's really can be done in 1 step compared to QuickBooks Desktop in 2 steps. It doesn't go to undeposited funds. It goes to receive payments right away. It can go straight to checking. So when I click on receive payments right here, okay, this one is not going to checking automatically. So this is really just by customer receive payment and then the second one. But you could do it also, make it receive payments and right away go into deposit. So it's plus receive payments over here, step 1, and then bank deposits later over here. Bank deposit, these are coming from undeposited. So when we see checking on top, we know that's definitely a deposit. into checking. Okay, so you have new. So we finished with customer. We did an invoice, received payment, and we made a deposit. When it comes to vendors, it's accounts payable. We start with bill and then later pay bills. That's for service. Okay, these two. If you have adjusting entries, you would go to journal entry. Like this, go journal entry. And you're familiar with debit and credit, and you'll put the debit and credit here. So example, depreciation expense and accumulated depreciation. There's no accumulated depreciation. It has to be fixed asset, and I don't see fixed assets on this example. Okay. Oh, here it is. Depreciation for the truck. So let's assume $100 and accumulated depreciation, $100. So that reduces the value of the truck. And then you put it on the date, usually December 31st. Adjusting entry. This is an adjusting entry. And like this, you would do next to next. So you have save and new on the bottom, and that's how you do adjusting entries. Okay, so we saw a sample of a QuickBooks Desktop, and you can review transactions from here. Transactions that you see that match, you just have to click on the word match, which is making it much faster. You match them. Another thing that you could do work very fast, and you cannot do it on QuickBooks Desktop, is to add a few at the same time. So batch transaction, you just make a collection of them, make a choice, select whatever you see match, which means it's entered and it matches, and it's also happened in the bank. Whatever didn't match, we will have to enter it. So the matches, I want the computer to really accept them and realize that they're the same. So I'm matching them. Okay, got it. I think I finished with a match. One more. Okay, so exclude not, but the word is accept. We want to accept all the matches. So we just accepted 13. We already have only 11 left. Okay, I accepted 14. So we have 11 transactions to work on. And if we know what it is based on memory of what the company is, let's say this one, we know it's a rental. So instead of uncategorized income, we're going to work on equipment rental. And then I'm going to add it. And those are the matching categories the same way. Equipment rental. That was the refund, the first one. So I'm going to add. And now that it's corrected itself and it says, oh, you did equipment rental, I recognize it. So I'm going to accept that as well. Okay, and like this, you're going to match the information. This one is job expenses. Hicks hardware is equipment rental, he thinks. So we're just going to select them. If I don't agree with it, I would double click here on the account and switch it. I think it's gasoline expense. So gasoline and electric. If it's okay, I would just add. Okay, and then you would work on where you see it, assuming that these are all the same. But if it's not, you'll have to work and fix based on the previous, what happened there. Let's go to this one. Savings, so there was only one to review. And it's a match, so it's very simple. So that's reviewed. we definitely have a transfer of $600 between them, that we have 800 in QuickBooks, there's only 200 left in the bank. The reason there was a transfer, probably from savings to checking, but we don't see that. Okay, and like this, you would work the same exact way on your MasterCard. Okay, so that's in a nutshell how you review things that are matching. It means it was entered already, and some you'll have to review. Squeaky clean, 2 records are found. Okay, those are credit card expense for squeaky clean. And it says squeaky clean car wash. Let's view. Yes, it does match. This one matches as well. Okay, Amazon depends what it is. I have no idea yet. This is an office expense lamination. So we click here. And you're going to fix it. Okay, again, don't leave uncategorized expense at all. If you're not sure, you can use miscellaneous. If you're still not sure about it and you want to speak to your accountant, you can use Ask My Accountant. If it's not created, create one. You could actually create an account called Ask My Accountant. But make sure you call it as an expense. Okay, that's also mentioned in chapter 15. Okay, over here you can call it Ask My Accountant. Okay, and you created the account. Ask My Accountant once a year could be cleaned up. So if you're not sure what it is, use Ask My Accountant. If you for sure want to put it as fees of some sort or miscellaneous, it's fine. If you have a better feed, just for that, like stationery and printing, even better. So when you're done, you click add. Okay, I'm the last one to review. Amazon. Okay, so let's put supplies. Or just office expense in general. And we're done. So transactions are all reviewed. So these two are matches. And the same thing I would have done with that. Okay, so review, this is a test drive company. So it was Craig's. I have the dashboard. The dashboard will show you invoices that are open, expenses, bank account if they're reviewed or not, and always to update. You will have profit and loss. In this example, it's minus $86 and the sales for the month. So this is called your dashboard. Besides, you have all the reports that you need. You go to reports. Of course, the financials. The financials are balance sheet and profit and loss. If you need statement of cash flow, just scroll down. And it's the first group of business overview. And then you have statement of cash flow. If you need journal, it's under accountant. So it's after employees, but before payroll. You would have try balance over there, journal, recurring transactions, and all that. So the category is for my accountant. Okay, and you click on journal. Everything is sensitive to date, so you have to really fix the dates. You're going to fix the date by editing. Okay, you see the dates, the journal. And you can export to Excel when you're done. Export to Excel right here, or export to PDF or print. Okay, if you want it more condensed, compact, you can choose that. And that's basically it. So here's my journal for December 7. But I would prefer to change the date. So if you want to do the whole month, so here, change it. And now it will say December 2020. So if you did January 1st to January 31st, it will say January 2020. Okay. That's the end of the comparison between QuickBooks Online and QuickBooks Desktop. So review all the slides for all the PowerPoints from chapter 5, 6, 7, skip 8, go to 9, 10, 11, and 12. I think we didn't do 12. 12, I think, is also payroll. Skip to 13 that I gave you a project on, 15 and 16. So review those. I also wrote it to you on your announcement right here. You have a schedule, how to study. So multiple choice test, 5, 6, 7, 9, 13, 14, 15, 16. So review the PowerPoints. It will be only multiple choice. You don't have, but of course it's based on QuickBooks Desktop. So it's based on your book that you have on Connect. The Connect exam will be open on the top on Monday. You will get an email about what time. Okay, so more information will come on Wednesday. Take care. Bye.